Please welcome Ken Burr. So, you've been making documentaries for nearly 50 years about some of the most significant people and events in American history, but you say you never work on a more important story than this. Please tell people why.
Well, first of all, I think we're in this incredibly fraught moment where going back to your origin story helps you understand who you are, where you've been, what you actually came from. But I also think the American Revolution is kind of smothered in bloodless, gallant myth. And we just think it's guys in Philadelphia thinking great thoughts in '76 and 11 years later at the Constitutional Convention. But it's not. It's a really complex bottom-up story that involves half the population, women. It involves 500,000 free and enslaved black people at the time when the population was between 2.5 to 3 million. It's all the native people who've been assimilated, who are trying to coexist, and those on the western border that are just hoping, praying that they're going to be able to hang on to their lands and their culture. So there's great tension. It's a civil war, as bloody as any civil war, and it's a world war. And it engages not just Britain, ostensibly our enemy, but the loyalists at home. The French come in on our side, as do the Spanish, as do the Dutch. And I just don't think we sort of have the sort of ability to understand the entire scope of this. And that's what we've spent the last 10 years trying to figure out, how to tell this complex story that we can all have purchase. Everybody, no matter what political persuasion are. This is our origin story. We know where we were born, July 4th, 1776, but we've let a lot of the real information atrophy about what it took to get there, how complicated, and the wide variety of people who lived in the United States, and all of the things that happened to make the revolution happen.
Well, Ken, you're kind of speaking to this, but one of the myths that's dispelled early on in the documentary is that the revolution was all about unifying Americans, when in fact it resulted from and caused a lot of internal conflict. And at a time where we are fraught, and it's, what could we learn from this?
Well, I think the one thing is that in the present, we're all Chicken Littles. This is the worst time it's ever been. This is the best time it's ever been. We're in a fetal position. We were way more divided during the Revolution. We were way more divided in the Civil War. We were way more divided in the period after the Civil War called Reconstruction and its collapse. We were way more divided during the Vietnam period. We're a divided people. Our nation is born in violence and the disagreements between things. And we had a lot of people who fought and died to protect the British interests. It wasn't just us against them. It's the loyalists that were amongst the population. And I think everybody should stop and ask themselves, are you absolutely sure you'd be a patriot? Because at that time, the best form of government was the British constitutional monarchy. And this was a completely unknown, untried idea that had zero chance of success at Lexington Green when the first shots were fired. And yet, 6.5 years later at Yorktown in Virginia, it happens.
And yet, absolutely right, all of this division, and you and I have done a lot of work together on the semi-quincentennial the last 3 years.
We have.
Because America was started in Virginia, made in Virginia, as we like to say. However, one of the things that I think is also so worth celebrating right now is that our nation began with this crystal clear, unequivocal statement of possibility. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. And that possibility is galvanized and inspired. What is the biggest thing we should celebrate?
Well, we should celebrate that. That's the great, I think that second sentence of the Declaration of Independence is the second best sentence in the English language. The first is, of course, I love you. Right?
But that sentence inspires every movement forward.
I think the American Revolution is the most important event in world history since the birth of Christ. Before that, everyone lived under an authoritarian rule, and they were subjects, and now we're creating something called citizens. And that's what we should do. And this woman here is doing an unbelievable job with the Virginia 250, and this July 4th will be an opportunity for Americans to reconnect with those founding principles. That's what you do. When you're in crisis yourself, you go and you see somebody, a pastor or a professional, and the first thing they ask you is, where'd you come from? What's your origin story? Who are your parents? What are you about? And what we have an opportunity to do to dive into the story of what happened is to come back on July 4th and reinvigorate this. That's the way to end the division.
Let me ask you this, because although 1776 was freedom for many Americans, it certainly wasn't freedom for the enslaved, but for Black Americans. So you also explore the hypocrisy of white American colonists who claimed they were being enslaved by the British while they themselves held enslaved Black people, right? So who were and those Black people were often relied upon to fight for freedoms that they were never intended to receive.
That's exactly right.
So talk a little bit about that. I know we're running out of time, and that contradiction and the role that slavery played.
Well, it's huge. In fact, a lot of people are drawn to this because, and they use the language of slavery to describe what Britain's doing to them, and they're holding actual slaves, and this is a hypocrisy. The interesting thing is the power of that sentence that Carly said. Even though they meant all white men, not any of you.
Property owners, not just white men.
Property owners, free of debt. The cat was out of the bag because you had a disagreement with the British that suddenly becomes about natural rights. All men are created equal. As the scholar Maggie Blackhawk says in our film, it's deeply significant to people at the margins, women and Black Americans and Native Americans. And they know that the cat's out of the bag. So people didn't talk about slavery up until the Revolution, and then that's all they talked about through the Civil War, even to today as we struggle to make sure that we judge people based on their content of their character and not the color of their skin.
Well, you know, we've been here before. We'll probably in another 40, 50 years be here again, but you know what? Nobody tells it better than you do. So you can stream all 6 episodes of The American Revolution right now on PBS. God bless PBS.
Yeah.
Passport. And the companion book, The American Revolution, An Intimate History, available in stores and online. Scan the QR code straight into